get built because it'd be all glass on one side and you can watch it. So that's our goal for the future. And of course, I want to go surfing every day like I always used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
So like if you can't go surfing, then why are you doing it? You know, so.
Yeah, and that's also the main reason, because then we really have to build boards that get the feedback. From the feedback we created, Bert's going to explain to you in detail. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because we should go to the design thing.
Okay.
But yeah, the customization is the key point for us to not just do stock boards, stock standard. They could be boards are not changing as fast as it sounds like, but they definitely have to be adapted. So yeah, basically we have boards that will work. I mean, maybe you can go in that one, and like this board, my brother's board. Basically, he said, oh, okay, how about I get some? I had always an idea that I wanted on my board, and basically it's like he gave us a design and we'll put it on, and it's basically the same board like we always build, but with the design that the customer basically wanted. And that's something that we want to work together with shops. Like you guys have an idea, and you talk to Fred or to anybody, and you get it. And the times that you will have to wait are fast. You know, we are trying to build the production line in a way that this makes sense. So it's basically the boards can be built directly only for you, they be shipped directly to your door or to here, and this is basically what we are trying to do. Okay, so basically then, yeah, Team Riders, you already had that point. It's very important that Bert gets a world title. That's a lot of work, but if we don't do that, then yeah.
Yeah, we actually, we did good this trip. We found someone in the top 10 that's willing to ride our boards. We can't say too much yet because obviously they've got an existing sponsor and we don't want to create ripples, and there's political issues and whatnot.
We get shot.
So first of all, we've got to build the boards, and you know,
there's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Maybe I think maybe it's interesting for you. Maybe people heard the story of Taj or something. How many boards he got? Maybe it's interesting to explain a little bit because of those 3 points that we have in the beginning: the right board for the right customer, the right waves. These 3 parts. Maybe it's interesting to explain how actually a pro, they're going to 12 or 13 spots each
Something
year.
like that, at least 10.
And it, maybe you can explain a little bit how different each spot is, and that not one board can ever, or 3 boards can ever work. It will never work. You need a big quiver.
Yeah, well, you've got at least 10 spots on the global tour, and it ends up, what a lot of the pros do is they go and deal with local shapers when they get to a new spot. So, for instance, at Trestles in California, you've got Matt Violas, I think you've got Timmy Patterson, there's another guy, I've forgotten his name. And so what happens is guys, wherever they live, they're quite in tune with the waves and also their customer base, and they've obviously learned to build good boards for their locations. And so a lot of the times with the pros, most of the pros have 3 or 4 shapers that they'll deal with. So when they go to Hawaii, they'll have a Hawaiian shaper or a board builder build them boards because he's more in tune with Hawaii. You know, in California, when they go to the Gold Coast, there's a bunch of Gold Coast shapers. And that really what it tells you is that you need different boards for different waves and different locations, but then you need them really well built for those locations too. And so that's where, when I mentioned earlier that I was glad that I grew up in Western Australia, because that gave us a broad range of design experience. So from my perspective, I have the confidence to kind of cover more locations for a pro. But yeah, they do go through a lot of boards, but then for argument's sake, Taj, years ago, he was riding for Morris Cole, probably like 15 years ago. Taj would get about 150 new boards a year. So he would get 3 new boards every week, go and surf them. 2 of them he'd hand back and go, nah, no good. 1 of them he'd keep. And then if you look at how many boards he was breaking, out of those 50 boards he would keep, he'd have sort of 10 or 15 keepers that he would compete on. So that's the amount of boards that those guys consume and that they need to have that winning board. Like even if you go to a contest a day or 2 beforehand, and they're rolling up with like 6 to 8 boards, and they're surfing it, surfing the next one, and then they've got one that they're going to compete on. And then if they get a result on that board, like say with Taj, like he and Kelly, they all do the same thing. If they win on a board or get a good result, they will get that board and just put it away and not pull it out till next year for the same contest. They won't even free surf it because otherwise they could break it. You know, they've just won a major contest on it. It's like that board's gold. You know, you don't want anything to happen to it, and so it's like, right, that's my winning board. So there's a psychological thing to it as well. They know they've got a good board, put it away, pull it out next year for the same contest, and so then, you know, they'll have collections of boards or boards in different spots for different waves.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, that's basically one of the things we have to get some riders, but also local and international. It's important. Like you guys, if you're really good and you want to ride, and that's important to go for. Then basically, let's go to the design basics. So just to check out a little bit what we kind of prepared. There are a lot of basic points. I don't know how many people are really familiar about shapes and you know what an outline is. I mean, does everybody know about this more or less? They're all pretty familiar when you surf, right? So, but each one is connected and has a lot of stuff underneath and really goes for it. Yes, and so
tell us about fin rake, please.
Yeah, Bert will talk about everything. So, and the worst thing is each one has a lot. Each one is interconnected with each other and changes the other. The rider skill changes it all is linked, and that makes it so complicated to find the right one for the right time, for the right way.
When we were putting this together, it was kind of like, I took a step back and I'm like, and that's the basics, you know, like, and that is just the basics, you know, like for each of these subheadings, you know, I can talk and explain and there's more detail, and even that's just the basics. So
let's try to keep it pretty general and see how these things work together and where they are and what can it mean for you to get better boards. That's why we want to do this. We need to find a way how you can link to a shape or to somebody to get more out of the board. That's the same what we're trying with the rider. The rider, for them it's useless that they have boards where they get money, daily boards that they can win on. And again, it's different to, you know, easy board, to location.
Yeah, so this, I suppose, you know, for us too, like if we can educate our customers, then they're also going to make a better decision when it comes to picking a board, but also with the guys that are selling boards too, to be familiar with these concepts as well.
Maybe one thing, when Bert's going through all this, our goal after that is we want to take one guy from you and design him a board right here before you look at it. So it's like, we know, okay, how's your skill? You will talk to Bert about how is it going to happen, and then while you're watching, Bert's going to design and shape a board, basically how he's doing it with the computer, and you can actually see how the board is being created, and then maybe later you can follow it because we'll put the board in production, and the board's going to be produced. You can take a look at the Facebook, you can see, and the board gets shipped, and we'll hopefully get some feedback from the rider, from the guy. And that's why we are trying to do this, so you can actually follow the process, how a board is actually created, not from the factory who's building it, but from the thought of the rider who's needing it, or want it, right? With these basics.
Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll talk a little bit about each of these areas, and this is probably the bulk of, you know, once we've done here, then, yeah, like there's a lot of information here. If anybody's got any questions at all, or they don't understand something, just put your hand up and ask, because maybe I can rephrase things better or make it more understandable. So yeah, just feel free at any time. Okay, outline. I'll use the surfboard here as an example. The outline curve, basically the arc of the outline, and this curve through here, that determines the fuel.
Wenn jemand Bier will, kann er nehmen, gell?
Ja, bitte.
Bier? So is it actually alcohol? It's kind of hard to do this alcohol free stuff. Nothing motivating.
Kannst du auch was trinken?
Hier gibt es noch. Wir können ja mal kurz hier Bier austeilen oder Getränke. Was hier?
Nee, das war interessant, wir müssen wegen der Zeit.
Ja, bitte.